Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Bobi, aka Paginator, and I'm heading out on a book expedition today. I was heading towards the freeway, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to pause for a second and show you guys something that some of you might not see on your daily routine. So it might be hard to see, but these are American bison, American buffalo, sometimes called bison, and they live on this ranch right here in my hometown. I can't get a close enough shot because of the way the roads are, but there they are. Enjoy. Hey there. I'm a mess. Okay, I've got a book haul for you guys today. I need to do something to bring myself a little bit of happiness, and so I'm gonna film this book haul. Today I took myself on a book expedition, and I went about an hour east of where I live because I found out about this independent bookstore that I didn't know existed there before. So I went to a town called Rock Springs, Wyoming, and they have this cute little bookstore that's called Sidekicks Book and Wine Bar. They have some baked goods like macarons. I don't know why I didn't buy any because that sounds amazing. And they have some books, and it's not a huge variety by any stretch of the imagination. It's not like walking into Barnes and Noble, but it's fun to just be in a bookstore because for a long time the closest bookstore to me has been Salt Lake City, which is 2 hours in the opposite direction. So yeah, I did some shopping. It was my birthday recently, and I was given some money. And then also I was taking pictures at a football game, which I do as a volunteer. And one of the coaches pulled me aside, and I could see he had some cash in his hand, like folded into a little square. And he was trying to give it to me, and I was saying, no, 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 no. And he goes, put it in your pocket. So I got home and opened it, and he had given me $100 to like thank me for the photography I do for the football team. And holy crap, that was so sweet of him. But either way, I found myself with some money, and I thought, I'm finally going to go check out that bookstore in Rock Springs. So I went to Sidekicks, and I went to the young adult and middle grade section. They have a cute library ladder on wheels there in that section, and there were some little kids sitting there reading picture books, and it was just kind of a fun little place to be. And I ended up picking up 3 books. Kobe Bryant had a series that he created. I think it's called the Wisnard series, and this bookstore had several other books that he has created, and they all involve sports and magic in some way. So I got Epica, the Tree of Ekroth, created by Kobe Bryant and written by Ivy Clare. All of these books have very interesting textural elements to them, and they've done very cool designs. So this one, I'm trying to remember which sport is in this one. It's about 2 kids, the orphaned outcast Rovi and the crown prince Pretia, who uncover and battle a terrible evil and discover their inner strength along the way while at the most elite sports academy in the land. So it doesn't say which sports Pretia and Rovi play, but I guess we'll find out as we read. And something that is just beautiful about this book, so the end papers are rainbow, and then if I hold it like this, I don't know if the light's going to show this or not, there's rainbow on the edges, and every single flippin' page of this book is rainbow. It's so beautiful. Even if it's a horrible story, I'm going to enjoy looking at it. I picked these up because out of the choices that were available at this bookstore, these seemed like the ones that I could get my students to read the most easily. They love Kobe Bryant, and especially since he's passed away, they've been very intensely interested in reading the books that he created. Even though he's not the main author, he did create the story ideas and the concepts, and so they're super excited. Now, the second one that I picked up has this like velvety green, almost like astroturfy texture. It's very cool. This is about tennis. So we have the Republic of Nova, where tennis means everything. And our 12-year-old character, Legacy, practices serves and returns against the wall of her father's orphanage to pass the time, but all that's about to change. Scylla, the queen, announces her annual tournament where citizens battle for her favor in a cash prize big enough to save Legacy's family's orphanage, and Legacy has her heart set on winning both. So that sounds like a cool, fun sports story plus magic. I love this idea of sports plus magic. It's delightful. Also, let's look at the end pages on this one. Yeah. And then we've got the edges here. I have to fan them out a little bit for you to be able to see, but there's like some little print stuff, which it's hard for me to even tell right now exactly what it's meant to be. I think that this is like a building. It's hard to tell, but anyway, and then all the pages have these cool like designy lines on the sides. And then the last one, oh, I forgot to tell you, this is created by Bobi Page and written by Annie Matthew. And then the last one is also created by Bobi Page and written by Eva Clark. Geese are never swans, and this is about a swimmer. And it tells the little blurb inside the hardback, which is interesting instead of on the back here. It has a texture, but it's very just like a linen kind of texture that you'd expect on an old-fashioned hardback book. So this is about Gus. His life is about one thing, swimming, and he knows that the only coach in town who can get him to the Olympics is Coach Marks. So it seems like a simple plan. Convince Coach Marks to train him, and everything from there on is just hard work. Gus has never been afraid of hard work, but there are a few complications. Coach Marks, however, was Danny's coach, and Danny is Gus's older brother who committed suicide after failing to make the national swimming team. So as of right now, we don't know if it's Danny's suicide is thanks to Coach Marks and like pressure put on him from his coach, or just from his own disappointment in not making that team. And yeah, this one I'm for sure going to want to read before I turn it over to my kids, though, because I noticed that the very first sentence has the F word in it. I'm like, okay, I just want to double check, because a few cuss words here and there I'm okay with my middle schoolers reading, but not a ton. Alright. So after I went to that bookstore, I decided to make a Walmart run, but on the way I was passing by Goodwill and I thought, oh, I should pop in there. And I picked up a couple of books. I got 3 books for $4, which I think is a pretty good deal. I got The White Princess by Philip Gregory. He's written a lot of European royalty stories. This one is about Henry Tudor and one of his interests, Elizabeth of York. But she is still in love with Richard III, whom Henry Tudor murdered, I believe. Anyway, this is not one that I'm going to read right away, but it is one that I was interested in. Plus, it's a floppy paperback that I could get for 50 cents. I think it was 50 cents or $1. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, so I got that. I also picked up a copy of The Hunger Games just to give away to my students. They will snatch this book up like crazy. I have 2 books in my classroom library, 2 copies of it for them to check out, but some kids love to have their own copy, so I have a box in my classroom that's called the free stuff box, and they can just come grab it out of there on Monday, I suppose. And then the last one I picked up at Goodwill was I Wish My Teacher Knew. This is written by a teacher who asked her students to complete this sentence. I wish my teacher knew blank. And she just got lots of interesting answers. Some were humorous, some were heartbreaking, and it kind of changed the way that she related and taught her students. And it's supposed to have some good strategies for teaching, and this one was $2 because it was hardback, and like still $2. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, so then I made my way to Walmart, and sad to say, the Walmart had a bigger selection of YA and middle grade books than the actual bookstore. I know. I live in a cultural wasteland. We have no theater, no music here, no very few places to get books. Like, yeah. But this is my life. I think I chose it. Anyway, I was at Walmart and let myself buy like 4 things. So I got the graphic novel adaptation of The Witches by Roald Dahl. I understand that this is going to be becoming a TV show pretty soon. I just kind of heard that like rumor floating around. I have no idea if there's any truth to it. Who knows? But this should be a fun one to just revisit that story in graphic novel style. Up next, I picked up The Lost Book of the White, which is a sequel to this book, The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. Now, you'll notice there is an art style change between the first book and the second book. But here's something genius. This book that I picked up today with the second book, if you take off the dust jacket and you turn it inside out, it matches the art style of the first one. I thought that was very cool and clever, and yeah. So this is a series about Magnus Bane and Alec Lightwood, and they are living life together finally. And I don't want to say a whole lot more, especially about the second one, because I don't want to spoil things. I read the first one when it came to me in a bookish box. I want to say a couple years ago, year and a half maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, when it came to me, I read it and really, really loved it, so I am looking forward to reading the next one. Then we have Kind of a Big Deal by Shannon Hale. Shannon Hale is a really fun author. She writes young adult, middle grade, and adult books, and everything I've read by her has been very well done. This one is, again, kind of a big deal, and it is about a girl named Josie Pye, which of course makes me think of Anne of Green Gables, because there's a character in that series named Josie Pye, and she is a brat. This Josie Pye, she feels like she has peaked in high school. She used to be kind of a big deal, and then she dropped out of high school to be a theater star, but didn't really make it, so her whole life is imploding. Her mom's not, as it describes in the book, playing with a full deck, and her boyfriend's too busy for her now. Her best friend's kind of ghosting her at the moment, and so she really wants to escape this crazy life, and she starts reading, and she finds herself being sucked into books, literally, like getting pulled in to books. And it says here, and with each story she's a different character, a post-apocalyptic heroine, the lead in a YA rom-com, a 17th century wench in a corset. It's alarming, but also kind of amazing. This is like every book lover's dream. And of course there is a possibility that she will find a book that she loves so much that she doesn't want to leave it. I got lost a little bit on a train of thought there, thinking about what books I'd like to get lost in. Anything that doesn't resemble my current reality would be fantastic. Today's been like not a great mental health day, even though I got to do this fun book shopping and stuff. When things, I'm not gonna get into all of that stuff, because I am trying to do this and help myself feel better. Just go to the side. Bad thoughts. Alright, so the last book I picked up at Walmart is Crush by Tracy Wolff, and this, I believe, is a sequel to Crave, which is a vampire book, and it was not super cheesy like I thought. When I first got Crave, I thought this cover is kind of ripping off Twilight, and it's a vampire book what the heck is going on. But I actually really enjoyed Crave. It is kind of a dark academia book. This girl attends this school and she finds out that there are vampires there, and there's this guy that's really gorgeous and brooding and, you know, that kind of trope. But I actually really, really enjoyed reading it, and so this takes us back into the vampire world, and I want to go there. My last stop was at a Joanns, which is a fabric and craft store. I bought this headband that's like a mask buddy. It's got the buttons on the side, and I'm testing it out this evening to see how long I can wear it without it giving me a headache. Because I am teaching with a mask on all the time, I need to be able to wear this for a good 8 hours. And so far so good. It actually fits pretty nicely. But I did pick up a couple of books from the store while I was there. They had 30% off all of their craft, art, drawing, etc. books. And the school counselors asked me to do some activities with the kids on anime. And I know nothing about anime or manga, other than I've read a little bit of Full Metal Alchemist and I've heard of Pokemon, because who hasn't? But other than that, I don't really know much. So I've been exploring and looking for some resources, and I found a couple of books just to help myself and the kids learn about drawing these characters. So I got this one, which is Chibi Art Class. There is a subset of anime, which is chibis, which are like extra cute characters. Their head is like massive. So here's a good example. See, her head is quite, not the snowman, this girl, her head is quite large, and she still has a fairly decent sized body, but not a fully proportional human. Here's another one that's a better example of how this art style looks. Very large head, big eyes to make them look super cute, and a little tiny body. And then this one that I got is the Master Guide to Drawing Anime Tips and Tricks. And I thought at 30% off, I probably should have a couple of these so I can figure out what the heck I'm doing with these kids. Yeah. Anyway, that's all for my book haul. I guess I could call this a birthday haul, because some of the spending money came from my birthday and stuff. But yeah, my family doesn't buy me books anymore, because after years of like buying me books that I didn't read, they've kind of just given up and said, well, if it's books you want, then we better just give you money. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. Can you tell I'm like half sleepy? I may or may not have taken an anxiety pill before I made this movie. Okay, it's time to get on with doing more productive things and getting myself feeling better. So, I am going to wish you all a wonderful and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.